You know what the fastest way to kill a great conversation is? Tell people what you do. The moment you say it, they put you in a little box, slap a label on your forehead, and move on. But if you keep them curious, if you let your actions and results speak louder than your words, suddenly they lean in, they chase you, and they want to know more. Friends, the less you tell, the more powerful you become. Friend, let me tell you something. Mystery is magnetic. The less people know, the more they lean in. The moment you reveal everything about yourself, you take away the curiosity, you take away the chase. But when you hold back, when you let your results shine louder than your resume, you create an aura that pulls people towards you like a magnet. Think about the movies you love most. Why do you stay in your seat for 2 hours? Because of suspense. Because you want to know what happens next. Life works the same way. If you tell everyone exactly what you do, you kill the suspense. But if you keep it mysterious, they can't resist asking, what's your secret? How do you do it? And that, my friend, is when they're ready to listen, ready to buy, ready to follow. Here's the truth. Mystery multiplies your value, because when people chase answers, they already believe you have something worth knowing. So stop spilling all your beans at once. Instead, let your life, your results, and your impact whisper the story, and let their curiosity do the selling for you. Remember, curiosity is the spark, but mystery is the fire that keeps it burning. Now listen carefully, because this one's a game changer. Too many folks walk around with fancy titles, business cards, or job descriptions they think will impress the world. But here's the truth. Nobody buys your title, they buy your results. Nobody follows a business card. They follow a person who delivers. You see, action shouts louder than any title ever could. You can call yourself a leader, but if no one's following you, you're just taking a walk. You can call yourself an expert, but if your actions don't create impact, your words are just noise. Titles might open a door, but it's your action that keeps you in the room. Let me put it this way. The world doesn't care if you're the CEO of a company or the janitor sweeping the floor. What the world respects is excellence. If you sweep floors so well that people stop and say, wow, that's the cleanest floor I've ever seen, then you've already elevated yourself above most people with titles they can't even live up to. So stop bragging about what's on the card. Start showing what's in your character, because action is proof and proof is power. Titles fade, but action builds a legacy that nobody can erase. Remember this, a title tells people who you think you are, but action proves who you really are. Friend, here's the secret. When you chase people with explanations, they run. But when you hold back, when you stay calm, confident, and mysterious, people can't help themselves. They lean in, they ask you, and the moment they ask, you've already won half the battle. Think about it. Have you ever been at a dinner table where someone talks endlessly about what they do, how important they are, how much they know? What happens? People nod politely, check their phones, and mentally drift off. But the one person who says little, who carries themselves with confidence and doesn't shove their resume in your face, that's the person everyone eventually turns to and says, so tell me, what do you do? Here's the power in that moment. When they ask, they've already given you permission to speak. They're not tolerating you, they're pursuing you, and people never value what is forced on them, but they always value what they discover themselves. So don't give away everything too quickly. Don't talk yourself out of respect. Be the person of substance, the person of results, the person of mystery. Let your success raise the question, and let their curiosity open the door. Because when they ask you, really ask you, you're no longer pitching, you're answering. And answering is a position of strength. Now hear me loud and clear. Your reputation is not built on what you say, it's built on what you show. You can tell people you're the best, you can post it on your social media, you can even print it on a billboard, but if your results don't back it up, those words vanish like smoke in the wind. See, results are louder than advertising. You don't need to announce success when success is visible. If you consistently deliver, if you solve problems, if you make people's lives better, your reputation travels faster than your mouth ever could. People will whisper your name in rooms you've never walked into, and opportunities will chase you down because results don't need an introduction. They are the introduction. Let me give you an example. If you walk into a restaurant and the food is bad, does the chef's fancy title matter? No. But if the food is excellent, if the experience is unforgettable, you don't even need to know the chef's name. You'll come back, you'll tell others, you'll build his reputation for him. Why? Because results create reputation. Friend, let me warn you, people are quick to judge. The moment you tell them what you do, they pull out their little mental stamp and slap a label on you. And the danger is this: most of the time they judge you smaller than you really are. You say, I'm in sales, and instantly, in their mind, you're just another pushy salesman. You say, I'm in insurance, and boom, they're already shutting down, thinking you're about to give them a boring pitch. You say, I'm an entrepreneur, and half of them assume you're just unemployed with a fancy word for it. That's the trap, the instant judgment trap. You give them one line, and they box you in. But friend, you are bigger than a box. Your vision, your mission, your purpose, they can't be squeezed into a single label. That's why the less you reveal, the more power you hold. When you don't hand people a label, they can't shrink you. When you don't announce your role, they're forced to experience your value instead of their assumptions. And here's the truth: the only opinion that matters is the one you earn through your results, not the one they assume through your title. So don't let small minds write your story before it begins. Never give them the easy chance to judge you wrong. Instead, protect your greatness, protect your dream, and let your impact do the talking. Because people can argue with your title, but they can't argue with your results. Friend, remember this: talk fades, promises expire, titles get forgotten, but results carve your name into stone. Do the work, keep showing up, and let the scoreboard of your life speak for you. Because when you deliver results, you don't have to convince anybody of anything. They'll already know who you are before you open your mouth. Now, friend, let me tell you something powerful. Curiosity is the secret sauce of influence. When people are curious, their minds are wide open, their hearts are engaged, and their ears are ready to listen. But the moment you dump everything on them without invitation, you shut the door before the conversation even begins. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a store where the salesman attacks you with information the second you step in? You feel trapped, don't you? But if that same salesman lets you browse, lets you notice something shiny, and then answers your question when you ask, that's when the sale happens. Why? Because curiosity converts. When someone leans forward and says, wait a second, how do you do that? That's not just a question, that's an open door. They're not resisting you anymore, they're inviting you in. And friend, you never have to push through a door that's already open. That's why mystery is so powerful. The less you tell, the more they ask. And when they ask, they're already sold halfway. Because people don't chase what they understand, they chase what intrigues them. Curiosity creates hunger, and hunger is what makes people take action. So remember this: don't hand out all the answers too soon. Plant seeds, drop hints, spark curiosity. Let their questions pull the words out of you. Because when curiosity takes over, you don't have to sell a thing. They sell themselves on you. Friend, you can talk all day about what you do, but if you create curiosity, one simple question can do more than 1,000 words. And that's why I say it again. Curiosity doesn't just attract, curiosity converts. Folks, let me tell you something important. Nobody wakes up in the morning excited to buy a job title. They don't care if you're an agent, a consultant, or a CEO. What they care about is one thing: what's in it for me? See, people don't buy products. They buy results. They don't buy a drill. They buy a hole in the wall. They don't buy insurance. They buy peace of mind, the confidence that their family will be taken care of when life throws a curveball. They don't buy coaching. They buy the success, the growth, the transformation that coaching creates. That's why you never lead with the job. You lead with the benefit. You don't say, I sell financial services. You say, I help families build a future where money is no longer a nightmare but a dream come true. You don't say, I'm in real estate. You say, I help people find a home where their children can grow up safe, strong, and loved. When you talk about the benefit, you're speaking their language, because deep down, everybody has the same desire. They want a better life. And if what you do connects to that better life, you'll never have to convince them. They'll convince themselves. Remember this, the job describes you, but the benefit transforms them. And people don't buy what you do. They buy what happens to them when you do it. So stop telling the world your job title and start showing them the life-changing benefit you bring. That's where the real power is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a truth that can change your life. Everybody's got a dream, but not everybody protects it. And if you don't protect your dream, somebody else will steal it, stomp on it, or talk you right out of it. See, the world is full of dream thieves. Sometimes they don't even mean to be. It might be a friend, a co-worker, even a family member who says, "Be realistic, don't aim so high, settle down." But the truth is, they already gave up on their dream, and they don't want you reminding them of what's possible. That's why you've got to guard your dream like a treasure chest. Lock it up. Keep it safe from negative voices. Surround yourself with people who fan your fire, not folks who pour water on it. Because if you listen to the wrong crowd, they'll convince you to shrink when God built you to soar. Now hear me. Your dream is not silly. It's not impossible, and it's not too big. Your dream is the picture of the life you were meant to live. And if you let other people's doubt dictate your destiny, you'll never see it come alive. Protect your dream by feeding it with faith, by backing it with action, and by reminding yourself every single day that you were designed for greatness. Don't let small thinkers steal a big future. Your dream is yours, and if you protect it, nurture it, and fight for it, one day it won't just be a dream, it'll be your reality. Folks, let me tell you something. You don't have to shout about who you are when your success is already shouting for you. You don't have to wave your arms, brag, or beg for attention. If you do the work, if you deliver the results, your success will walk into the room before you ever do. See, talk is cheap. Anybody can say they're the best. Anybody can claim they're successful, but the scoreboard of life doesn't lie. When you consistently show up, when you pay the price, when you go the extra mile, your results will speak in a voice so loud that no critic, no doubter, no competitor can drown it out. Have you ever noticed the people who talk the least about their success are usually the ones who have the most of it, because they don't need to prove it, they live it. And the folks who brag the loudest, most of the time they're trying to cover up a lack of results. Success is your microphone. Let your actions do the advertising. Let your results do the marketing. Because when your life shines with excellence, people don't need to hear your pitch. They'll come to you saying, "I want what you've got. How do I get it?" Remember this, the sweetest sound you'll ever hear is not your own voice talking about success. It's the world around you saying, "That person delivers. That person is the real deal." So keep working, keep winning, and let success do all the talking. Let me tell you something, folks. People don't really buy your product, they don't buy your service, and they sure don't buy your title. People buy you. Why? Because before they ever believe in what you're selling, they've got to believe in you. They're asking, do I trust this person? Do I like this person? Do I feel confident that this person has my best interest at heart? And if the answer is yes, then the sale is already made before you even open your mouth. You see, knowledge is important, but it's not enough. Skill is valuable, but it's not enough. What closes the gap is character, integrity, attitude. You can have the sharpest suit in the room, the slickest pitch in the world, but if your heart isn't right, people can smell it a mile away. On the other hand, if you're genuine, if you really care, if you walk with honesty and enthusiasm, folks can feel that too. And that's what they buy. People buy the way you make them feel. They buy the confidence you give them. They buy the trust you earn over time. And here's the good news. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. So don't focus on impressing people with what you do. Focus on becoming the kind of person people want to follow, trust, and buy from. Because long after they've forgotten your words, long after they've lost your brochure, they'll still remember you. And when they believe in you, they'll believe in everything you touch. At the end of the day, it's simple. People buy who you are, and who you are will always be louder than what you sell.